Hi guys, we have another update as we're rolling right into filming of Convergence. You might be wondering what? Well, you're not wondering because the title spoiled it. But that's fine. Special guest joining today. Welcome. Who are you?
Who the hell am I? I'm Emma. I'm Emma Thorne, and I'm here.
And people might recognise that name. Just might. Why?
Possibly. I have a YouTube channel, and I talk about all sorts of nonsense. I do commentary, and I do a little bit of gaming in some other places. So you might just have heard of me, but probably not.
I can kind of tell by your setup. You have the look of a YouTuber. The telltale signs are there, I think.
Streamer vibes, yeah.
Yes. This is to announce that you are joining, or have already joined in fairness, the Convergence giant fan film, started in 2018. This is the 2022 version, though, because you weren't alive then, but you were alive then. But you didn't know each other then. You're in this film. But not just that. My goodness, we went a bit crazy, didn't we? What else are you in without giving too much away?
We got overexcited, didn't we? So stop me if I say too much. I guess I have my own little introductory piece to introduce my character to the world. That is just a little bit of fun, I think. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm allowed to reveal, but it's fun and stressful from a character perspective. So yeah, you gave me a character and then you really put her through the ringer.
But she rose to it.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us the character name?
Yeah, I'm playing Ensign Laura Reed, and she is a bubbly new, fresh recruit, science nerd, just starting out her career. Yeah, it's all going very well. Or is it?
Yes, there's a slight confusion already because we're seeing images of you from that shoot, and you're in TNG, which is a phenomenal culture. You look great in it. Phenomenal time. But you don't look that different in the first contact costume. Now, while I do have de-aging, I'm not digitally aging or de-aging. So it's a bit weird. It's like 20 years away. It's a bit weird.
It's a little bit
Are you an
strange.
alien? Are you not aging? Did I spoil it? What?
Could be. Who knows? Something's going on.
Something characterful and
time
storyful.
Will tell.
But yeah, so that's, we brought you on for those smaller films because I reached out and we got talking, and you were a Trek fan. You can give your side of the story in a second because I'm interested to see your perspective of it. From my perspective, that's kind of what happened. Then we got you in for a shoot, went phenomenal, planned something more, and then it was a natural fit to kind of bring into Convergence. I sort of knew from the start it'd be lovely to have you as a character on Horizon, which is the hero ship I designed with Rick Sternbach, as you guys know, legendary designer, as one of the sort of not so friendlier characters, but a more audience perspective character in the story, and that was a really natural fit. And then in rewriting the script, then fully, it's like, yes, you fit in beautifully. This extra bit of something or other to this rather big and complicated film. But why don't you give me your memories of how we met and why on earth you said yes?
You reached out. I just remember you being like, hey, I do Star Trek fan films. Here's some of my VFX. And I was like, oh, I like Star Trek, and also I work in VFX. So let me have a look and I'll see if you're any good. And I was like, damn. No, really impressive stuff. And I was like, just sold immediately because it just looks really cool. Like, I think, because I hadn't really watched many fan films at that point, and I think I had the kind of reaction that I saw my same reaction in a lot of the comments, which was basically like, this is what I want to see from Star Trek. And so you offering to let me be involved was like, yeah. And we had the first shoot. It was really fun, hectic, and like I hadn't done like because I've done a lot of voiceover stuff for a while, but I haven't done like an on-set like full shoot for so long that it was like, ooh, I forgot what this was like, but I also forgot how good the energy is and the excitement. So yeah, and I've loved it. I've loved reading the scripts. being part of it, wearing the costumes. So cool. Like, yeah. So
I can imagine there's one particular moment where you're on location. And how was that different than being on green screen in costume? Because I imagine that was probably felt a bit different.
it did. I mean, it's hard to explain. It sounds sort of silly, but it almost feels more real because, well, you're out in the world, you know, because we do
Alien world.
Alien world, obviously. Or we do so much on green screen, and it's you can get to the point where you're sort of visualizing your surroundings, but it's still never quite the same as being out in the world. And being out, we were also I was getting to work with another actor, so that was also like made it very just a real sort of personal experience, bouncing off another person and having the real environment to sort of study it. Yeah, that was really, really good experience. I very much
living
enjoyed.
it, not acting it. You just sort of
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
The next film's a bit of a bigger one though. It's you can have small scenes here and there, but you're going to be there for the full Saturday of the shoot where everybody's going to be. So it's going to be from meeting Nick and myself before, and then suddenly everybody. How do you think that's going to be? Because that's a lot of people. There's like 7 to 8 people between over the weekend. Oof.
I think it's going to be good. I have a feeling we're like probably not going to have time to have too much interpersonal chit chat. So I imagine everybody's going to be pretty busy. But I'm really excited. Like in my head, I can't see, because I don't have that director eye that you have, Sam. I like can't imagine how organizing all of these different people is going to work. So I'm just really excited to be able to see it start to unfold and be a little part of it.
And then there's like 7 of you in the same costume. It's going to be quite.
Yeah.
But also, you read the Convergence script.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to what you thought? Obviously, non-spoilery. Well, we did give a decent amount away in the pre-release stuff. You know, the siphons, the time travel elements, the ship from the future. Harriman Marcus is now the future captain. So we gave a good amount of stuff away. So what was your take on that script? Because it is very different to what you've done before. It's bigger. It's more elaborate. What was your sort of takeaway from that?
It feels like a Star Trek script. You know, it doesn't, reading it didn't feel like a small scale like indie fan film project. It feels like something that you need a team of 100 people working on. It's very like, yeah, it feels like reading a TV script. It's just super exciting and chaotic, and I was getting like a bit anxious reading the more tense bits, which
there's a couple of those.
There are, but I think that shows that it's really doing the job. And it made me very excited for it.
And you don't even know all the sub character stories. You've only kind of known your bit, and then stuff already released. But it's meant to be part of this bigger arc. And so if you end up watching them all, then all those little things like, oh, I get that, and I get that reference, and it's a very deep, complex film with kind of a side arc and a main arc and little references and deaths.
Yeah,
a couple of deaths.
It's pretty sprawling as a concept.
I think if you're reading this for an actual TV, you'd be like, that's a lot of special space effects. What's our budget here?
Who's going to do that?
Who wrote it? That's the question. I think there's probably going to be 100 space effects. I think I've already done 50 because I kept the ones I made for the original version.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 48 about finished, which is partially why I'm just adding another 40 more. Like, oh.
Why not?
Why not? And they're oh, Nick, I'm sorry. Sorry, Hunter. Oh, I'm sorry, Hunter. The last thing before we go, though, I can also announce this is a thing you might know quite well, which we can announce as part of this. We haven't talked about it yet. That we did with the original Indiegogo funds in the first one. We got a Hero TNG tricorder, which you have experience with. Do you want to talk about that briefly? Because this has kind of been your girl out of all the actors so far. You've been the most used to this one.
Look at it. It's beautiful. I don't want to put it down. It's like, it's so phenomenal. It makes other, equivalents look sad to be honest. But it's just like the lights are so effective and just
They really pop, don't they?
they really pop. It just feels
Even in bright sunlight as well.
so good in your hand. Even in the light, it's really lovely.
It's not cheap, but with Indiegogo behind us, we're to get some good props, and it does just work on screen. We've used it a couple of times now with a couple of actors, which is great because it should be on screen if we've got it for sure. So that's where money's going, guys. But there'll be more. There has been more, and tune in. Do you have any sort of last words of that future you might look back and say, because you haven't shot for Convergence yet? Any last pre-thoughts that future will be like, oh, you were so naive. Oh, you thought that...
I guess I'm just excited. I just think it's going to be really good. I'm anticipating a high level of energy output and chaos. So just thanks, future me, for having done it. And maybe if you could find some way to send some energy back in time to help me through it, that would be great.
Well, you do know about time travel, so
yeah. If anyone's going to figure that out,
anyone, yeah. But it's really great to have you aboard. I think you've worked wonderfully, even with the single cast and the double cast. I'm really excited to see how you blend with everyone, and hopefully see more as well. Thank you for saying yes and joining this Trek Shorts family, because you are in the core 6, so you kind of went from being hey, come have some fun to you're a core 6. So
yeah,
how cool is that?
It's awesome. I'm really grateful. I just loving it. It's awesome.
Well, thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you because you got your first film, which will come out not too long away, so you'll get to see her pretty soon, guys. So until then, she's Emma Thorne.
Goodbye. And he is just Sam. Oh my god. It's fun.
Bye.